How this week marks 1 year since George Floyd's murder, and we are spending the next 2 months looking at what's changed in our state. Tonight, News 12 Connecticut's John Craven begins our special series, Justice for All.
I can't breathe. Please, the name of it.
For the world, George Floyd's murder was a wake-up call.
I think I've seen myself in all of these videos to some degree.
For Gary Winfield, it's an alarm he's heard his whole life.
You grew up in the South Bronx in the 80s.
We saw all kinds of things. We learned to stay away from police.
Today, Winfield is a Connecticut state senator.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
After Floyd's killing,
the measure is adopted.
Winfield pushed through major police reforms. Excessive force is now redefined. A new inspector general will decide whether to prosecute cops. And in July, people can sue individual officers, although towns will pay their legal bills unless they're guilty of a wanton, malicious act. Still, hundreds of officers protested.
If they're afraid that they're going to lose their livelihood, if they're not going to be able to provide for their families, they're going to be reluctant to act.
But since last year, Connecticut police have made changes on their own.
State police are diversifying their ranks.
We just bring a different voice to the organization.
And Danbury's Patrick Ridenour just became the state's first black president of the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association.
It's unfortunate that it's taken this long, but by the same token, we just have a lot of work to do.
We're disgusted as well.
So what's next? Groups like the ACLU want to limit minor traffic stops.
Some people say we need to go further.
I asked Governor Lamont what he thinks.
I think we just passed a bill. I think it's just beginning to be implemented. Let's give it a little bit of time. Let's see how it works out.
Gary Winfield believes George Floyd marked a turning point.
The people that we saw come out in Suffield, Summers, Infield, that area, they don't normally come out for much of anything in terms of protest, and yet you had these people on our streets, and that you have to take that as a positive.
Positive steps on a long road to change. John Craven, News 12, Connecticut.
And you can see all of our Justice for All stories from across the tri-state area on the News 12 app.